we will talk about, enabling business growth and sustainability. How do you foster it? How do you then make sure it is sustainable? And we're going to do that this morning with the help of the Chief Commercial Officer of Family Bank, John Ndugi, and he's here with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. Thank you for having me here in the Situation Room.
Welcome to the hot seat of the Situation Room, where you are right now. We'll be looking at some of these issues, important as they are. But before we get into that, CT Muga, the strapping gentleman on your left, goes to your other left. It's on Wednesdays, usually the other left.
Yeah,
left is on Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays this side.
You're right, yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting. I thought it's my left.
That guy's on your right.
Yeah, we'll turn it up here. He goes to a different African country every week, and he comes back with a basket full of proverbs that he shares with us every day. So he's going to share with you the proverb for today, and we'd like to hear your interpretation of the same. Fair enough?
Fair.
Okay.
We are in the Republic of Malawi. Yes, in their previous life, they were known as Nyasa land. Okay, my question is, why were they called Nyasa land? What did Nyasa mean? Well, lake, really. That's the name Nyasa refers to as lake. And as we said at the beginning of the week, the colonizers must have gotten there and saw the water body and probably asked the citizens whom they found there what this was. And they said Nyasa. So they said, this is Nyasa land. Whereas the reference was actually the lake. Yeah, so the proverb, do not be like the mosquito which bites the owner of the house.
Quite interesting.
Yes.
Okay, do not be like the mosquito
Don't.
that bites the owner of the house. So, okay, literally I would think the owner of the house by a simple slap or by use of all manner of dooms of this world would spray the damn thing away. So the mosquito is obviously endangered. But then on a deeper meaning, I think it's all about to choose your battles wisely. You check your opponent. There are situations where you'd rather negotiate or even take a flight where you can't beat the opponent.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's one way to look at it for sure. And I guess we're getting into a conversation where you look at things in different ways. We're looking at enabling business growth and sustainability. First of all, how are things at Family Bank in terms of that investment portfolio? How are things looking?
Things are looking great. We are now in our 95th branch, opening 96 within this coming quarter. We have continued to have a very steep growth trajectory despite the tough environment. We've continued to enable business create and sustain wealth through flexible, affordable, and transformative ideas. Yeah, so things are looking up.
Okay.
We are now at our. We've now engaged in our 2025-2029 strategic plan. Coincidentally, that comes in with the fact that we have just also attained our 40-year celebration, or our 40th year. And as you know, life is said to begin at 40.
So they say.
Yeah. So at 40 is when you go back to the balcony.
So
and reflect.
So the bank has reached adulthood.
Yes.
And just getting into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that adulthood is then when you're able to start to advise people or take in advice and then apply it. And so then in terms of what is applicable for success, one of the things that we look at is sustainable business growth. And I'd like to look at it from the aspect of, the private sector gets a lot of responsibility when it comes to driving the economy. Economies are driven largely by private sector, and the work that they do. But in order to have a vibrant and robust private sector, it's got to be planted and it's got to grow. So, what are the elements then for fostering business growth before we even get to sustaining it? How do we get that seed popping out of the ground?
One is majorly we need to nurture or understand the environment within which we exist from a regulatory aspect, and also from the owner of the idea, probably what are they looking at in terms of what do they aspire to do? What is the vision or mission of the people who begin or start these businesses? And then I've just seen that from the previous discussion, you have just been dealing with the human organ trafficking, for example. Are you is the business that you're in, number one, legal? What are the governance structures that need to be in place for you to run a sustainable business? What is the end game? Are you in there for profit, or are you there to fill a certain gap in the society? And this relates very well, if I was to look at Family Bank, it came in at a time when banks had brought in a minimum operating balance to operate a bank account. And it came in at a time when also very many financial organizations were going down. So there needs to be that gap. So Family Bank came in to fill the gap, and has always sought, and that has always been our mission within the banking industry, to seek to fill a financial gap. So we cannot encourage maybe people to just start business for majorly profit. You have to be looking for problems and then solutions to those problems. And of course, along the way, you will need a financial intermediator to work between, or to play in between your suppliers and your customers. Yeah.
So as you talk about business growth and sustainability at that matter, there is the aspect of SMEs and how critical they are, and how the bank would then go ahead in holding their hand to just make sure that they grow. What is the bank's position on SMEs and holding their hand in their journey?
So again, I will take us back, or go back to the reflection that we have had as a Family Bank. We initially approached business from an asset liability perspective, but after running for those 40 years, and as we concluded our 5-year plan in 2024, we took a deep retrospection into how businesses operate. And we are now approaching business from a point of looking at the sector, creating sector specialists within ourselves, and in the next 5 years, we would want to approach business from an advice perspective, where the sector specialist relationship management approaches business from a point of understanding. So rather than the customer training you on the particular industry, we have looked at our business and seen that certain sectors, like let's say the agri, wholesale, trade, manufacturing. So if you are in manufacturing, you will go and understand the various aspects of manufacturing, and deeper into that, you will also we will also create specialists in terms of manufacturing in different areas. There are those non-consumables, consumables, and all that. If it is wholesale and trade, then what are their specific needs? They need to get very many people supplying to them. Then how do we enable them to receive payments, and also to pay out their suppliers. So majorly we are just looking at, and as a bank, we are looking at simplicity or simplifying things for business and creating those that accessibility to financial services, because banks sometimes, or we have banking has been complicated at times, and we are seeking to become very simple and go back to the basics. We are financial intermediators, and therefore we will concentrate on facilitating trade between the parties that are involved there.
How do you facilitate trade?
We facilitate trades through first understanding what is the unique need, what is that specific need a customer has. And there are two people here. There is the owners of money, those people looking for places to place their monies. So we actually only buy and sell. Buy the money, place it, and at a rate, and then sell it to the people who need it. In there, we will put in technology now, and like that I've described the contemporary banking, but then there is the facilitation in terms of digital. We're putting solutions, digital solutions to enable people to make payments, also to pay their suppliers, pay their employees. And we've gone further into, from a click of a button, you can also be able to pay your bills. And this happens through heavy integration with payment services. We've integrated with Kenya Revenue Authority, for example. We've integrated with Power. So as we sit here during the break, and as one of our customers, we can facilitate. You can be able to pay these bills without going to a physical bank. We have gone further to integrate with now the corporates. These traders, the wholesale merchants, the manufacturers, and together and also integrated with maybe their suppliers, and also integrated with their payment systems, such that by the click of a button, they can be able to pay their employees, pay their power bills, pay their water bills, as well as borrow based on the transactions that they channel through the bank. We're able to have their turnovers right, and then facilitate them with funding. So we've come in to facilitate trade in terms of lending for their working capital, lending for expansion. So working capital would be more short-term, based on what they do, and also bridging and structuring facilities based on what businesses do. For example, for those who run schools, we know that their money comes every term. So contemporary banking would say, if I lend to you for infrastructure, pay me monthly. But now we've come to co-create solution based on what you do. So the schools will pay long-term funding during when the school is opening. But then during this time, like now, most primary schools and high schools have closed. So we bridge for them. If they are short of cash, we're able to bridge for them to enable them to pay their employees as we await the school fees. And this is in every industry. So when it comes to agriculture, it's the same. There are those guys who are involved in maybe bull fattening. Their payment comes once a year or 1.5 years. There are those involved in maize growing. There are seasons with maize, which maybe is one season a year. And then there are those involved in, for example, the tea sector. They have two payments: a mini bonus and a main bonus. So we structure our facilities so that we do not ask for payments when the customer is not receiving the money. So those are some of the things we facilitate in terms of Family Bank's engagement.
Why is this bank called Family Bank? Why is it not called agricultural bank, or why is it not called a commercial bank?
Yeah, we have strong family values. We call on to the family. In fact, it started off as a building society, and its first running call was to providing financial services to the family for a better future. So we started off as a building society, basically funding the consumer bit. We started off by lending to the smallholder farmers and civil servants, as well as small micro businesses. And it was majorly to facilitate the family need, in terms of payment of school fees, payment of or purchase of farm inputs, and of course for the small businesses to just do their stock financing. So we have very strong attributes to the family.
Do you still do that?
Yes, we from our founding director, he started by doing that and identifying the gap. So identifying the gap within the family, lending to as low as 500, to now identifying
500 shillings.
Yes,
Oh, it's very good.
those were the first loans. When I remember, it was in the 80s, 1984, 500 mil shillings would.
And there was no M-Pesa.
There was no M-Pesa. There was no
There was no
technology.
Fuliza.
There was no
Pesa
Fuliza.
pub.
There was no Pesa Pap. Pesa Pap came much later.
Yes.
So we have that culture of identifying the gaps within the society, and then coming in to actually co-create. And the minute you understand the challenge your customer is facing, and then become flexible enough to listen, and then engage them in a conversation where you will co-create a solution. So it has moved from that humble beginning, then into even revolutionizing. We revolutionized banking, because the then building society, which converted into a bank, was the first financial institution to do what you call paperless banking. It was an unheard of that you would go direct to the teller that time and get your money. We were also the first to do a smart card technology. Just before, we couldn't access that time. Getting an ATM was difficult, so it was only for the who is who. So we've gone ahead to when mobile banking, when M-Pesa came in, we again were the first guys to, or the first financial institution to again do mobile banking. So everybody else followed suit, and now we all enjoy our financial services on mobile. Yeah.
So, mobile banking, making sure that growth of business is doing well, but then there is the aspect of, I am your client. I need to be in a relationship with my bank. The only way we'll understand each other. And with that, there is the aspect of capacity building and training for both parties to understand each other. And with that, I go to matters like financial literacy programs, mentorship, networking, and also just training on matters technology. The bank is big on this. Why take that trajectory?
Yeah, we need to, because there's the aspect of becoming too transactional, and from the basis of our name, being in a family, we have always sought to have our people understand their customers and understand what they do, and we even go to as far as participating in their personal events and understanding what they do. And from a corporate perspective, we create relationships or relationship managers for our clients. And because the size has grown, we used to have like relationship managers managing just a portfolio. At 40, we then decided no, then we need to also be approaching business from a sector perspective, where not only understand a portfolio and very different sectorial. Like you become a guru in agri, manufacturing, trade, wholesale. So we are now compressing this and centering our people to even now understand each sector, because the size has grown. So during this whole time, we also engage in local, and we actually fund those events where we bring our customers together. If it's in a region, we again engage them, listen to their challenges, and also tell them what is new that we are offering. And then they also tell us what else we can offer them. During these sessions, even the whole management, from an executive perspective, and even the board goes down there to do a customer engagement, so that we do not become just transactional. We also listen as to how our people are serving our customers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to us and walk us through how it is you manage something that is often not talked about, and yet banks have them. Accounts for children.
Yes, thank you. We do have accounts for children, and we structure this. We call it our accounts for children is called the Mdosi Junior account, the rich young one. So what we do with that is businesses, of course, people do different things within the bank, because we have those who are salaried, we have those who are in business, and we train people to save for school fees, or for a trip for the kid, or for their university education. So we usually do a standing order. If you choose maybe to be saving around maybe 10,000 a month from your pay on a specific day, or when salary comes in, or when you have chosen quarterly or half yearly to channel a certain amount of money for a certain purpose, be it school fees, or be it for a long-term period. So this money just does not just sit there. We're able to again put in an interest rate, but we prohibit you, so that we discipline you from, or we tell you you'd rather fuliza than go into this account. So we ensure that you stick to the plan. So there's a rate that we agree and place on that account based on the amount that you have saved. Then at the time that you need the money, or at the time you have agreed to pay school fees, it will not just come as a flat figure. It will come plus some money.
My interest is money that is saved specifically for the child. School fees parents pay. Money which the child can then enjoy later. Now, on. Let me ask a second question in relation to this. Financial literacy for children. Do you have specific days when you ask parents to bring their children? You have some fanfare, you have something where the children can actually get to learn, understand about money, understand why that money is in the account, and things like that.
Okay, we have that account that so we save for the children, and you can lock it for a period, and we don't force sometimes. We cannot force, but then you can lock it for a period of time.
Yes.
If you decide to lock it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, of course the yearly rate will be higher.
Yes.
If you choose to lock it for just the school fees, then the rate is lower, because again, we won't have a lot of time to also reinvest the money.
So locking it means that you can't take out money.
You can't take out money.
But it doesn't stop you from putting in money.
It doesn't stop you from putting in money.
Okay.
You can always add on to the saving.
Whatever it is that you put there.
You can draw. Okay. You can draw it.
Yes.
Then in areas before the COVID, those parties and everything used to happen. Now we haven't done it after the COVID because of bringing in children together. But coincidentally, it is one of the major initiatives within the 2025-2029 strategic plan to encourage further savings, and also to educate the children about financial or saving for the future. We used to have, or we still have, we do have the Kapigi Bank that the child, when they receive coins, they put in. But you realize the world today, hardly are we getting money. I have one for my own that I have kept for the last 18 years. And when money was flowing, physical money was flowing, it used to make sense. Right now, it makes very little sense to have that piggy bank because people are digital. You can imagine if you decide to be sending that money from your M-Pesa to the child's account or lock a standing order from your account. So you may not need the Kapigi bank. So it's one of the major initiatives we want to revive into
I
the
always
next
found
period.
this concept of a piggy bank interesting. Are they breakable?
Yeah, they are breakable because they are majorly hard plastic. But you see, when you break, someone will know it was broken.
Yes.
So, and like when it is not openable, it is made in a situation, it is built in a situation or in a way that we are the only people who can open it.
Only the bank can
Only
open
the
it.
bank can open it.
Yes.
So you can only break. You cannot access the money.
Access inside.
Yeah.
So 40 years is a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is
You
a
know,
big deal.
and Family Bank's been around for 40 years, and then, you know, as you say, life begins at 40, and that's great. But then, you know, looking at reasons as to why anybody who has been part of the Family Bank family will remain, and those who are not, why would we then join the Family Bank family?
Family Bank has a very strong relationship management process, or we are very close to our customers. We also have very flexible, affordable, and we have very flexible and affordable products that we offer. We are flexible in terms of the decisioning, or our decisioning in terms of financing businesses is very local, because all our directors and bodies here in Kenya. So we have very fast decision making processes. We also have a very strong ESG awareness.
What is ESG?
Environmental, social, and governance, and we do it inside ourselves. For example, in terms of governance, Family Bank is one of the few organizations which have attained the 50-50% governance structure at the board level and at the executive level, where women and men are 50-50. That is compared to the industry average, where it is around 26%. So other reasons where you would want to join Family Bank, it is our investment in the digital space, and the fact that we can co-create and get into your business, know what challenges that the business has, and we have a very strong team of relationship managers that really come in to support you with the integrations, support you with the technological needs that you may need. We also have a very strong loan, or very flexible loan terms, like I've mentioned, depending on what you do, which businesses are you engaged in, how are your cash flows coming in. We engage in for example, contractors, very, very fast processing of bid bonds, performance bonds, and guarantees, such that most business people engaged in this kind of business need the service today or now.
Yes.
They come very fast and need that bid bond in the next few minutes. And we have enabled or what you call devolved decisions to the 95 branches, such that there are limits. They do not need to refer to our head office in terms of those very fast and unfunded facilities, micro facilities, amounts below the 3 million mark. those that are not on the digital space that need manual. So we've enabled the branch managers and the branch teams to be able to process smaller facilities. And as I've stated, also our decisioning for the bigger facilities. We have grown from lending the 500 shillings I've mentioned back in 1984 to lending over the 4 billion mark in terms of decisioning. And that decision does not need to be made out of this country because our shareholding and our structure is local.
Okay. Let me understand you. The bank is in a position to lend someone up to 4 billion shillings.
Yes.
Hey, okay. Now.
Yes. We are the 14th largest bank in this country, with a core capital of now hitting 16 billion core capital. We just attained 168 billion in terms of our asset base, and a strong liquidity over 45% against the regulatory requirement of 20%. So we are a very strong bank. I think we are number 8 in terms of branch network or touch points in terms of spreading out throughout the country. 95 branches in 32 counties across Kenya. 5,000 agents, so you can access services in our 5,000 agents. PDQs about 10,000 mark. And the journey continues.
Yes.
So we can borrow 4 billion.
4 billion. City, just so you know, 4 billion.
I am still taking it in.
Yeah, as you take that in,
Yes.
let's talk about sustainability in the sense that where we sit as a country, we know the president is big on matters, environment and whatnot, green bonds. But then again, there is the aspect of the bank tapping into that space, and this would be funding or giving loans to companies that are into, say, putting up solar panels and tapping into that. Is that a direction that the bank is also looking at?
Yeah, we actually have a whole ESG department, and for every lending that we do, they come in because we've. I think it's no longer in Kenya a wishful idea. ESG has to be entrenched in both by the bank itself, like I mentioned about our governance, and while we are doing our facilitation. In terms of the lending, the ESG comes in to check the social aspect of each engagement that we have. How do people deal with the recycling? How do you again litter or how do you deal with the waste? And we again come in to support people. For example, if it is the waste, what are the things that we can engage in to ensure that we maybe use the waste for recycling? And we have case studies, and people that we have gone in there. They are doing some type of manufacturing, and then we've come in to again support them to do the recycling. So the recycled materials most of the time has ended up becoming a raw material for something else. So, for example, the people dealing with bottling, so that the cuttings have ended up being chipboards for construction of furniture. There's even one who has done a whole structure, a building, based on the recycled plastic. There are those who are doing briquettes from the waste that we get from sugarcane. There are those who are generating power from that. Then in areas where we have people again engaging in solar and wind power. So when we visit these customers, their need could not have been the solar. But then you find when our ESG team kicks in and checks all our customers, they're able to identify other needs that can support the teams. And solar comes in handy to reduce also the cost for running electricity or lighting in those companies. It has worked very well. for people in real estate, lighting up security lights or becoming solar. It has worked out very well. For people in schools, the lighting, although sometimes it can't cook because there's a lot of cooking to do. But biogas has come in again. So those are the things that we look at in terms of the ESG. Yeah.
Let me ask this question. Clearly, the bank is not afraid to back new ideas, new businesses, and to walk them through the process to the point where they can actually be a sustainable business.
Yeah.
Okay, now, clearly you have a strategy for this.
Yes.
So, for it to get to maturity, it has to grow.
Yes.
So, talk to us a little bit about the sustainability and the growth process strategy that Family Bank has. What it is that you envision, what it is that you want to work with to move into the future. You said you're number 8.
Yes.
So that you can become number 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. One is to be in the action.
Yes.
Because you have to be in the action. And as I had said, we are financial intermediators. And what we are doing is to have a very strong understanding of each sector of the economy, and then create specialists around each sector. So that when
specialists here are the bankers.
The bankers. Yes. We want to be, for example, if you go to manufacturing, we are training and capacitizing someone or a team of people to understand our the manufacturing business. If it is, and it is, manufacturing is also very wide, so we are going deeper into saying manufacturing consumables, manufacturing non-consumables. Consumables would mean, for example, millers or sugar, people in sugar industry. So you go in there and capacitize your people so that when they are approaching clients within that industry, they are coming in from a point of knowledge. They are not coming to learn from the customer, but rather we have capacitated them to understand that specific sector. So they will always be approaching customers with new ideas, new technologies that the customers can apply in their businesses to further their business growth. And that, of course, will lead to customers getting attached to us, because when I approach you as a banker, wanting maybe to fund you or to support you with collections, and then you hear that I actually understand the industry in which you are participating in, you become like a partner. We no longer look at it like just a relationship banking, but then we engage in a partnership relationship with our customers and grow together. So this the flip of it is that these specialists may end up becoming manufacturers themselves at the end of the day, rather than bankers. The same for wholesale and trade. The merchants, the big supermarkets, the hardwares. We become strong in terms of understanding trade, the trade in which the client is participating in. And therefore you are coming in to bring value. You are coming in to assess the needs of the customer. And we have noted our customers really appreciate that kind of approach. It has worked very well for us in terms of our SACCO engagement. We've attracted major Taiwan SACCOs as a result of us approaching them from an integrations perspective, toddling them to engage in financial transactions that or becoming mini banks in terms of they can operate like banks without becoming a bank. So we've put in all the technologies. We've enabled them to, for example, you don't need to move out from your SACCO. And that's the partnership we are talking about. So you can always take your check at the SACCO and it will mature the same day. You can obtain a Visa card or a MasterCard from a SACCO. And this is hinged in our strong investments or our heavy investment into the digital space as we capacitize our people to really understand the businesses where our customers are operating in. that also supports us to really engage in the ecosystem banking, in terms of not only now understand this particular client that you are dealing with, but then their suppliers, and facilitate also their suppliers through retailer financing solutions. So if you are, for example, a wholesaler, you're in distributorship, then we are coming in to even support your retailers to purchase goods from you. So, that's the way we are really approaching it.
How do you determine which circles to work with?
Okay, majorly is those that are regulated by SASRA. So
we have some which are not.
Yes, so we may not deal with those. So, but for those who are forming, we don't leave them out. If you are in a group and you want to form a circle, we then have incubation. We grow them, we support them, and circles take time because they are specifically engaged, or the members of the circles are pulled together by maybe one particular industry. For example, if you talk of the police, talk of the teachers,
civil servants.
Yeah, civil servants, wakulima, they are brought together by what they do or their area of operation. Yeah, so we also have the incubation, but for integrations, because integrations and technology investment is also heavy, they may not have the capacity when they are forming. But then when they get to the level that they are regulated and they have gotten enough members that transact from side to side, then we are able to do that.
What I've seen with many SACCOs, you can be a member of SACCOs in this country even if you don't belong to that particular discipline or industry.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's a group of individual citizens in this country who don't have financial might, but their potential is enormous. They're called students.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's a saving bit from the parents, but the students I have in mind now are those ones who've finished post-secondary school education.
Before university.
And then also to university. Why I say this is because people in your industry talk a great deal about financial discipline. Now, the piggy bank issue, as far as I'm concerned, is not outdated. At what age do children start talking?
Nowadays, 2, 3.
2, 3. So yes, they know how to say.
For girls, it's 9 months.
Okay, fine. Now,
I can see a joke that's going to be made from that, but let's just
Yeah.
why I'm going there is because imagine talking about a bank account to a 2-year-old without some physical representation of it would be difficult.
Yes.
The piggy bank becomes very, very useful up until. So if they understand the concept of saving from around 2 years of age when they can talk back at you, or literally talk back at you, or even 1.5, so long as they do it, they then understand the concept without realizing the implications which they will realize later.
Yeah.
Now, that is taken care of. But this group who are likely to earn after they finish this education, okay, are there circles to which they can belong, which caters for their specific needs? Because our university and the system we now have requires a student to be a little more versatile with matters of finance than they were previously.
Yeah, I would say that it depends on also what the purpose is. Because SACCOs are called savings and credit societies,
Yes.
cooperative societies.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to have something to save for you to first belong into a SACCO. So, and for you to have something to save, you have to have an economic activity that you are engaged in.
At that stage, the economic activity is their parents.
Is their parent.
Yes.
So,
And their allowance, if they have one.
that becomes quite tricky.
Yes, but it's a good tricky because somebody who is captured at that age, where I'm going with this is the SACCOs, that's up to them to do it.
Yes.
But accounts for this group of people.
Yes.
If they never had one as children,
Yeah.
but they're now at this stage in their lives, the understanding that as you enter the job market, you already have all these lovely ideas we're talking about. You've been introduced to them, so you know them.
Yeah.
So when you come across some money, you have an idea of what to do with your money.
Yes. So what we do, because the same guy you are talking about is also very techno-savvy. So within or inside our mobile application service, we have developed wallets. They are more conversant with, those guys would be more conversant with the wallet than you giving them coins.
Okay.
So they would rather upload an app where they can again within our PesaPap app, there's a section of saving. So goal savings, that is the goals for the purposes you've just mentioned, such that I can if it is from my parents, I can hive off part of the money in a certain wallet, and also. We don't just tell them to save in that particular wallet, but also we give interest. Once you achieve the goal, you can say I'm saving for maybe 1 year or 6 months. At the maturity, we also again will give you some interest, and then you can go for the purpose for which you want. But we're in the process of also developing one that a wallet that you can also come in as a group and begin to guarantee each other for small facilities, but then do it on the digital space, because the current Gen Zs do not want to go to any physical bank. They want solutions on their hands.
They don't know that that's where the money is kept.
Right.
I'm saying they don't know that the bank, is the physical, that's where the money is actually kept.
Yeah, they don't. They actually don't want to be in a bank.
Yeah.
So we're actually reducing the size of our brick and mortar significantly.
As you wrap this down, what would you say to customers as you're giving them that message about what you do and how they can get in touch with you?
So I would invite everybody. I hope out of this conversation, I've also been able to attract a good number of our listeners and viewers to join the family, the big family of Family Bank. So come to Family Bank. We will give you world-class customer experience. We will give you. We will be able to integrate with your businesses, support you, facilitate business, support you, do payments, support you with your trade business. And we really do invite everybody to patronize our services. We have 95 branches across 32 counties. So we really welcome them to Family Bank.
John Ndugi is the Chief Commercial Officer of Family Bank, has been our guest this hour talking about growth, fostering growth and sustainability. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Asante Sana.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.